Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello learners, welcome to this course on Integrated Marketing Communication. I am Dr. Bhavneet Bhatti, Assistant Professor, School of Communication Studies, Punjab University, and I am going to be bringing this course on Integrated Marketing Communication to you through the Swayam Prabha. Friends, welcome to the first lecture of the first module of this course on Integrated Marketing Communication. We are going to look forward to achieve these objectives by the end of this lecture. Firstly, we will develop an understanding of the concepts of advertising and promotion. And secondly, we will try to understand the concept of marketing mix so that we are able to lay a strong foundation for the concept of integrated marketing communication. Friends, all around us, we are surrounded by a number of stimuli. Whether these are advertisements, these are posters, these are billboards, all around us we are surrounded by a number of advertising messages. So much so that research suggests that an average person sees about 1,000 advertisements every single day. But have you ever wondered that amongst all this clutter, how are brands able to communicate with us? How are they able to make a mark in our mind? For instance, Coca-Cola tells you to open happiness. Nike tells you to just do it. And Apple tells you to think different. Have you ever wondered that amongst all this clutter, how are some brands able to communicate with you much better than others? How are they able to leave a mark in your mind? How do they reach out, communicate to you much better than the other brands? The answer to all these questions lies in the concept of integrated marketing communication. All across the globe, businesses, conglomerates, retailers, small businesses, organizations, they're constantly trying to reach out to their audiences. And this is done by the process called integrated marketing communication. Before we move forward into designing, developing IMC campaigns, we will first try to understand the basic concepts of advertising and promotions. Today, in the very first lecture, we are going to cover the following topics. Firstly, we are going to understand the meaning, concept, and growth of advertising and promotion. Secondly, we are going to look at the whole concept of marketing mix, the ingredients in marketing mix. So, beginning with the basics, I'm going to now take you to the journey of advertising and promotions, the very meaning of these terms, how these concepts have developed over a period of time, how have they become relevant, and how have they contributed towards the foundation of integrated marketing communication. Let's begin with the word advertising. Friends, have you ever wondered what could this word possibly mean? We all know that advertisement means the commercials that you see on television, the ads that you see in your newspapers and magazines. But have you ever wondered what could this word really mean and where does it come from? The origin of this word can help you better appreciate the meaning of this word. Advertising actually comes from the Latin word advertere, which means to turn towards. That is, turning someone's attention towards. And in the context of the whole marketing communication, an advertising is always trying to turn your attention towards the desired product, service, idea, or any other objective that you wish to convey through your advertising messages. We also appreciate the fact that advertising has basic characteristics which can be outlined in this definition given by the American Marketing Association. According to the American Marketing Association, advertising means any paid, non-personal presentation of goods, ideas, or services clearly identified by a sponsor. Now, friends, I want you to lay your attention specifically on these terms covered in the definition of advertising. We are saying that advertising is a paid form and paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion. Whenever we book any time, space in any of the media, we are always paying the media channels in return for that space and time. For instance, if I want to book a front page advertisement in a newspaper, I will pay the newspaper a certain amount of money and in return I can put my advertisement in that space. So advertising always works with the system of paid communication. Secondly, it is not like somebody coming to your house and selling you a subscription or selling you any kind of product, going door to door, having one-to-one communication. One single advertisement message, whether in newspaper or in television, goes to a million people in one single go. So it's a non-personal form of reaching out to people. And thirdly, there is always an identified sponsor. Whenever you look at any advertising message, whether it is in newspaper, whether it is in television, there is always going to be a certain kind of logo or a brand name which will help you identify that who has given this advertising message. Even for your public service advertisements, you will always have the issuing authority. So friends, then what is advertising? Advertising is any kind of message that reaches out to you, which has been paid, which is going to promote products, ideas or services, and which has an identified sponsor that you can make out in the advertising message. This definition pretty much sums up the basic characteristics of advertising. So for now, we understand that advertising comes from the Latin word advertere, which means that you are turning someone's attention towards a product. And secondly, there are three basic characteristics that we will remember: that it is a paid form, it is a non-personal form, and it always has an identified sponsor. Gradually, we will learn more about advertising, its role, and the very visible part that it plays in the marketing mix. But for now, let's move on to the second concept for today, that is promotions. Again, the word origin of the word promotion can help us appreciate better in a way what promotion means and what role does it play in the marketing communications. So would you make any guess where could the word promotion be coming from? Yes, it again comes from a Latin word promiscio, which means to move forward. And in the context of our marketing communication, promotion means that we are moving a step ahead in terms of creating awareness about our product, idea, or service. Promotion is a very generic kind of term. Whether you use it for films today, you use it for products today, you have often heard people saying that they are promoting their product, they are promoting their movie. So friends, what do we mean when we say that somebody is promoting a movie, somebody is promoting a product? It means that they are creating more and more awareness amongst the people about the existence of their product. There is also a classic definition for promotions which is given by Philip Kotler, a renowned name in marketing communication. According to Professor Kotler, promotion includes all the activities that the company undertakes to communicate and promote its products to the target market. Now, the stress here is on the variety of activities. There could be trade fairs, there could be exhibits, there could be promotional offers, there could be so much that can be covered under promotions. Our future lectures are going to lay stress on understanding what are the various tools of promotions and how they help in marketing communication. For now, we are going to be looking only at the word origin so that we can appreciate the meaning of this word promotion, and we are going to look at Kotler's definition, which says that promotion could be a wide range of activities that you undertake to actually promote your product for the target market. Now let's look at what advertising and promotion was and what is the kind of journey that advertising and promotions have taken, what have they become, and what all have been important landmarks in the growth of advertising and promotion. Initially, when the advertisements were seen for the very first time, they were for the basic purpose of finding out which product is being made by which manufacturer. So if we look at the ancient origins of advertising, we see advertising appearing for the very first time in the Greek and Roman civilizations. And what were they doing in those times? They were used as symbols a kind of a symbol, a kind of a placard which showed a symbol, and that placard showing a symbol was a sign to tell the audience that this product can be found here. What you see on your screen right now is a very old advertising attempt. It is a certain kind of trademark for a product really made on a carved on a seal. So the fact that in very ancient civilizations also manufacturers felt the need for their products to be identified as unique and different from other products. So advertising was at the very beginning used as an attempt to show that your product is different from that of another manufacturer. Over the years, several technological developments, socio-cultural developments, all these played a great role in making advertising and promotions what they have become today. For instance, if we look at the development of printing, it led to a massive growth in this whole business of advertising, because then you can send out your own written and published messages. Another thing that changed the course of journey for advertising was the coming of newspapers. Now, if you will remember, the very first newspapers or the old archives, if you've been able to ever see them, these were more in the form of a number of announcements being made about arrival of ships, departure of ships, coming of certain goods to the shore, so on and so forth. So initially advertising, or more that you look at the classified advertising today, which is more announcements kind of advertising, it came into being more when the newspaper started. This in front of you now on your screen is a copy specimen for the very first newspaper in India. It is popularly known as Hickey's Gazette or the Bengal Gazette. But if you will notice on your screen, the another name for this newspaper was called Calcutta General Advertiser. This is just to tell you that how advertising has had a very close relationship with media. It always wanted a platform. Media wanted a certain kind of revenue model because people would pay for putting these announcements in the newspapers. And the newspaper, in fact, got more readers, more audiences. It got revenue also. So advertising and printing process, advertising and media have grown together hand in hand. Now, today, advertising and promotions has become a huge industry. Like you have various industries, you have automobiles, you have a number of industries in front of you. Media and entertainment is a huge industry. And amongst that media and entertainment, a very big industry today is advertising and promotions. Friends, today, advertising and promotion stands at about billions of worth. And to be specific, if we have to look at the kind of presence on the global scale, advertising stands at about $500 billion. And in India, this is about $10 billion. So there is this huge amount of money which is involved in advertising and promotions. The source for these numbers comes from the FICCI and KPMG reports and Ernst & Young reports. And these industry reports and these figures give us an idea that advertising and promotion have grown on to become huge industries. So when there is this huge amount of money involved, when you know that there is client involved, there is audience involved, there becomes this dire need to plan these communications for best possible results. And how can we plan those communications? Again, with the help of our advertising and promotional messages and marketing communications. Today, advertising and promotion has also become a part of our socio-economic systems. Friends, give it a while and think about it. When you went for your last purchase, when you entered a departmental store, you could recall some advertising messages when you were choosing the products that you would purchase. So somehow advertising and promotions have become a certain kind of guidance in making our purchase decisions. Whenever we are thinking of picking up some particular brand in the fast moving consumer goods also, let's say you've gone out to pick a packet of biscuits or a cold drink or anything, you would obviously remember some kind of television commercial that you saw, and you would try to locate that brand on the shelves of the shop. And thus, advertising and promotions somehow lead to making those purchase decisions for us every day. It's also a fact that from bigger MNCs to small retailers, everybody is using advertising and promotions as their marketing techniques. They are using advertising and promotions very effectively to sell their products and services. Now, when I keep saying marketing communication, you must be wondering as to what really marketing communication is. And although we have understood the word advertising, we can now appreciate the meaning of the word advertising, which means to turn somebody's attention towards, and promotions means to move ahead or to create more awareness about your product. But again, advertising and promotions are a part of the bigger concept of marketing communication. And marketing communication becomes important because we are going to be learning the strategic step-by-step sequential process into how you create those campaigns. Now, advertising and promotional methods have this unique ability to carefully deliver the prepared messages to the audiences, and that is why they have become a very essential part of marketing communication. It is also a fact that companies are approaching advertising and promotions from the perspective of integrated marketing communication. And that's why this whole connect that we are drawing, moving from advertising and promotions to marketing communications and then towards integrated marketing communication. Now, the quintessential question here, if we are going to study integrated marketing communication, we are going to study how promotional methods work in IMC, we have to first understand the meaning of the word marketing also. We know that advertising and promotion are very commonly used word. We know that we come across advertising and promotional messages every single day. But somehow this word marketing, it always eludes a certain kind of understanding. Often you confuse the word marketing with a number of other words. And to be able to effectively understand the role of advertising and promotions, we will have to learn what is marketing. Friends, I would now request you to think for a couple of moments and see if you can point out some words which come to your mind when I say marketing. And these could be any words that you have heard in your everyday life. Just give it a thought and see if you can pinpoint some keywords that come to your mind when I say the word marketing. Maybe something like advertising, that's the first thing that comes to our mind. Then maybe publicity. We often say that product is being publicized and these are publicity tricks of the advertisers. Then public relations is another common word. Once we start talking about marketing, people talk about PR, people talk about publicity, people talk about this word promotions. And sometimes also personal selling, and at other times media, social media, new media. So these are the words that come to our mind when we talk about the concept of marketing. But have we ever wondered what is the connection of these words with the concept of marketing? How do they come near to the concept of marketing? Are all these part of marketing? It's always a confusion that runs in various sectors, that is promotions actually marketing, or is marketing the bigger concept? So today we are going to clear this confusion also. Marketing should be understood simply as the whole story of your brand. Friends, try to understand that marketing is the bigger concept. It is actually the whole story of your brand. And you are using various techniques to tell this story to your audiences. These techniques include advertising, promotions, PR, publicity, so on and so forth. But if you don't have a good story to tell, then perhaps your techniques of storytelling might not be as useful also. We have this definition here by Cutler, which says that marketing is how you tell your story to attract customers and every other audiences who you want your company to interact with. It's a kind of script that helps the users decide whether they want to welcome your product into their lives or do they think that it is a certain kind of annoyance only. Now, if you look at the marketing procedure as this whole story of your brand, you will be able to understand everything from the conception of your product to sale of your product and even after sale services. These are all part of your marketing process. Another definition by Philip Kotler can help us appreciate another tangent touching the concept of marketing. Now, according to Professor Kotler, marketing is both a science and an art. He says that it's the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target at the cost of profit. Now, Kotler also says that marketing identifies the unfulfilled needs and desires of people. Somebody wants to be rich, somebody wants to be more efficient, somebody wants to be better looking, somebody wants to please another person. So these are all these needs. So what does marketing do? Marketing actually goes on to find out what are these unfulfilled needs and desires of people. And then it tries to find out ways and measures to fulfill these desires with a certain profit in the mind. Marketing is also a certain kind of process of exchange. And according to the American Marketing Association only, the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create exchanges and satisfy the individuals and organizational objectives. This is actually the process of marketing. Now, if we go by this definition again, and if we go by this definition very slowly, I will request you to kindly pay attention and find out, if you can, the keywords which are going to be the guiding for the next concept that we are going to take up today, which is marketing mix. Friends, look at how American Marketing Association defines, and it puts all the quintessential elements in this definition. It says that it is actually a process. So it's not like one single concept, it is this whole process. And what process? Of planning, executing the conception, the pricing, the promotion, and distribution of goods, ideas, and services. So first of all, you have to think, what product will I make? What price will I sell this product at? How will I tell people about the existence of this product? And what are going to be the various networks through which I'll be able to sell this product? Now, these four important concepts actually make the whole process of marketing. And what kind of exchanges are we creating? We are creating exchanges between the target audiences and the organizations. Advertising and promotion play a very important role in this exchange process. They help you in informing your consumers, they help you in talking about that organization's products, they tell about the needs of people, they tell about the various ways in which those needs can be satisfied. Now, like I said, marketing is a whole process, and there are certain ingredients which are important to identify in that process. This brings us to the next concept for today's lecture, which is marketing mix. Many a time you have heard this word, that the ingredients of the marketing mix need to be taken care of. The marketing strategy depends upon the marketing mix. But what really is a marketing mix? Let's try to understand this. Now, marketing facilitates the relationship between the brand and consumer. How does it facilitate this relationship? Firstly, by developing a product that is going to satisfy the consumer needs. Second, offering this product at a certain kind of price. Third, making a certain kind of distribution network or a place available where the product is going to be sold. And fourth, the promotions through which you create awareness about the existence of this product. So friends, these are the four ingredients of marketing mix: product, price, promotion, and place. These four ingredients of the marketing mix, when put in the correct measure, give you a wonderful marketing strategy which works in your favor to create a brand from a product. Let's try to appreciate this further by understanding how does the concept of marketing mix evolved. Now, very first time, there was this person whose name was Neil Borden. He was the first person to coin this whole concept of marketing mix. And gradually, Neil Borden's concept of marketing mix got streamlined into the concept of 4Ps by McCarthy. Jerome McCarthy, he gave us the concept of 4Ps. And Neil Borden, He was the first one to speak about this whole concept of marketing mix. Friends, it's very interesting to see that how Neil Borden understood marketing mix, because when we are able to understand that the person who created the concept, was he thinking while creating that concept, then we are able to appreciate it better. So to Borden, marketing mix represented a range of ingredients, which rather like a recipe would create a product which is capable of satisfying the consumer needs. So what did Borden say? Borden said that here are a number of ingredients. If you put them in the right measure, you are going to get a good dish. I'm sure you've tried this perhaps sometime at home, or perhaps you've tried a dish cooked by somebody else. So if you have these ingredients and if you are able to put these ingredients in the right measure, you will get a very good tasting dish. If the ingredients go haywire, if your measures go haywire, you put ingredient A more when it was not required, your taste of your dish is going to suffer. Similarly, in the case of marketing mix, these are your ingredients: product, price, place, and promotion. If you put them in the right measure, you are going to be able to create a brand. You are able to create a brand. About these brands, Nike, Adidas, all these have become household names today. Why? Because the marketing strategies that were developed keeping in mind the correct mix of these four ingredients: product, price, place, and promotion. So always remember that when a dish is cooked, just like you need your ingredients in the right measure to make your dish tasty, similarly to make your brand successful, you need these ingredients in the right measure, and they should be mixed properly to be able to give you the correct brand story. Friends, it's also interesting to see that Borden has that huge list. When he first thought of this concept of marketing mix, he actually thought of these 12 elements that you can see in front of you. He thought about, of course, the product, price. He actually had these several ideas in mind where we have clubbed them to actually give us promotions as an important P. But he specifically mentioned things like branding, advertising, packaging, personal selling, physical handling, fact finding. For him, all these ingredients were important in the marketing mix. Gradually, what happened was that we summed these up into four important ingredients, and these were called product, price, place, and promotion. These came to be known as the elements of the marketing mix, and the basic task of marketing was to combine these four elements to give us a effective brand. Now let's also appreciate here for a moment that beyond these four P's, certain new P's are also discussed these days. That's positioning, packaging, and people, of course. So traditionally, we will follow the approach of four P's of the marketing mix. However, I still want you people to be aware that these days, certain new kind of P's like packaging, people, and positioning are also considered the ingredients of marketing mix. Friends, let's look at each of this ingredient, and you might often wonder that your job is going to be preparing marketing communications. Then what do we need to do with the product? How are we part of the pricing of the product? Now, as advertisers or as marketing communicators, we might really not be deciding the composition of the product, or we might not be able to choose the price of the product. But friends, we need to know about each of them to build our campaigns. Now imagine for a moment if you are asked to make an advertising campaign for a electric bulb. If you do not know anything about the electric bulb at all, if you don't know what price is it sold at, how will we make a television commercial for it? We need to know about these four ingredients so that we can use them optimally in our ingredients of IMC or marketing communication. So the first one is product. A product can be defined as a bundle of attributes and characteristics. It's a certain kind of offering that you are making to the market. Now, product is developed to meet consumer needs or to meet customer needs. All commercial enterprises have products to sell, and these products are both the result and the reason for the marketing activities. We also understand that there is a major challenge in creating an idea about the product the way it was intended. For instance, a marketer might think that the product looks cool, but to a target audience, the product might not be as reliable or as cool as you wanted him or her to think. So this is sorted through marketing communication. But first you will have to really understand the true personality of your product to be able to communicate that personality to your audiences. The second concept is place. Place is one of the elements of the marketing mix and is really more accurately referred to as distribution. Product distribution is also closely related to targeting and positioning. Now, place means what are these channels, what are these distribution networks through which you are going to make your product available to your audiences. If I see a very brilliant ad in the TV and I am very excited about buying that product, I go to my nearest shop, nearest retailer. I inquire about that product, but it has not reached those shops. All my excitement dies down for a while and I think of buying some other brand instead of that one. So friends, if you've done a very good campaign, that campaign will be of no use if your product has not reached the markets through a distribution network. That's why place is an important ingredient here. Then next is price. Now, often a marketer thinks that they cannot be the decision makers in pricing of the product. That's true also. But if you know the price of your product and if you know the price of competitor products, you can definitely use price as one of your appeals in your advertising. It can be one of your profit making weapons, one of your competitive weapons, and the entire strategy revolves around making profit. So that's why price becomes an important ingredient. Next is promotions. This is going to be our major dealing in this course here. So promotions is any kind of communication that is designed to persuade your consumer to perform an intended action. Now, rather than just saying to persuade the consumer to buy the product, why am I saying intended action? That's because you could either be looking at creating a favorable image for your product, you could be creating a certain kind of awareness about your product, or you might be hinting towards making a purchase action. So any kind of intended action that you want your people to take, that should be done through certain communication strategy, which is persuasive enough. Now, promotions is also understood as marketing communication. All your communication objectives are fulfilled through the promotional communication mix. Now, the promotional mix in itself consists of ingredients. Remember when we saw those elements given by Borden, I told you that there are 12 elements that are there. And what have we done? We have actually clubbed some of these Borden's elements into promotion. Promotion consists of advertising, personal selling, public relations, sales promotion. And if you will now recall the definition of promotion given by Kotler, he had said that these are a range of activities which are used to communicate about your product to the audiences. So we communicate about our product to our audiences through advertising, through personal selling, through public relations, through sales promotion. All these become the tools of promotions, which is going to be the detailed lecture for our second module. For now, we will just do with the familiarity with these four ingredients, which are product, price, place, and promotion. So marketing communications thus is a way in which you reach out to your audiences. But friends, we also have to remember that no amount how brilliant your advertising campaign, it cannot save a product which is of poor quality, which is not priced properly, or which it does not reach your distribution networks. So no amount of good advertising will help if your other three ingredients are not in place. Also, you need to keep in mind that this marketing communication, this marketing mix concept is important to bring out a cohesive communication strategy. A marketing strategy needs to be integrated well so that people can actually respond to your messages in a more efficient manner. And that's why the whole concept of marketing communications is taught to train the advertisers and communicators to make cohesive marketing strategies. So friends, I'll now take you through whatever we have learned today so that we can keep in mind the important concepts that need to be gained through this lecture. Firstly, we try to understand that how do brands communicate. I gave you the examples of Coca-Cola, Nike, and we discussed the fact that how are brands able to communicate, how are they reaching out to you, and we understood that it is through the concept of IMC that this communication happens. Before we understand the whole concept of IMC, it becomes important to understand the concept of advertising and promotions. That's why we began with the understanding of the meaning and concept of promotions, and we eventually moved on towards the concept of marketing. Then we understood the concept of marketing mix. We also appreciated the concept of marketing communication. For today's lecture, you must remember that advertising means a paid non-personal selling of goods, ideas and services through an identified sponsor. Promotion means that a range of activities which help you in communicating about your product. Marketing is a comprehensive process. It begins right from the conception of your product and moves on to the sales and after sales of your product. Marketing mix is a concept which talks about the 4 P's: product, price, place and promotion. All these 4 P's are equally important to us, but we are going to deal in this course with the 4th P, which is promotions. Promotions is also known as marketing communications because it is the various activities through which we are able to communicate to a person. And in the coming lectures, we are going to look at integrated marketing communications, or the concept of IMC. We are going to see how advertising and promotions will help us make IMC campaigns, and we are going to appreciate the origin, growth, evolution, and the whole significance of the concept of IMC. Friends, let's also put into perspective what we have learned today through a practical example. I'm sure everybody has heard Maggi and everybody is fond of this brand. Now, Maggi had a certain kind of situation a couple of years ago. I'm sure you have heard about the situation where the tastemaker of Maggi was believed to be unsafe, unhealthy for consumption, and because of this speculation, Maggi actually went off shelves. Maggi could not be sold and they were really out of the market. Now, when Maggi made a comeback, they were in dire need of a certain marketing strategy which is going to place them again in the market comfortably and which will assure their audiences that Maggi is safe to be consumed. So we have these 4 P's in front of us. The product was of course Maggi. Distribution channels were the places which it had to use. It was sold at the same price. The promotional strategy for this was that your Maggi is safe. This was the campaign that they had run. So what did they do? They actually had this emotional appeal which was made by mothers in their advertising campaign, which said that Maggi is safe and that's why I'm giving it to my child. So if I can give this Maggi to my child, you can give it to yours also. So this whole idea of creating this safe and healthy image around Maggi was fulfilled with the help of promotional campaign, that is, your Maggi is safe. Now, this example is just so that you can appreciate the fact that all around us, when we see brands making a comeback, when we see brands convincing us to buy a product, it is actually because there is a certain marketing strategy behind them. So, what can you do to be able to appreciate this lecture better? You could imagine yourself as a marketing manager and maybe a marketing manager for a fruit drink company which is going to launch a new product into the market. So summers are coming up and let's imagine that you are a marketing manager for a fruit drinks company and you have to plan a promotional strategy. So if you have to plan this promotional strategies, the only task that you have to do today is to think about the factors that you will consider to make this strategy. We are of course going to learn about making the marketing campaigns in the coming lectures. We will learn how to make advertising campaigns, how to make IMC campaigns, how to integrate them well better. But for now, today, just think about the fact that if you are a marketing manager, what are those 4 factors that you will think about, that you will consider to start devising a strategy for them. I hope, friends, that you are able to do this task. And in the next lecture, we are going to make a foundation for IMC. We are going to see how IMC became so important in these years and how IMC is being followed today. Thank you very much. These are the references and the readings which have been consulted for the preparation of this lecture. I hope you are able to appreciate this and I look forward to joining you all in the next lecture. Thank you so much.